Giant posters vilifying the financier George Soros have gone up all over Hungary, the crudest step in the latest campaign by the right-wing Fidesz government against the 86-year-old Hungarian-born philanthropist. Many Hungarian Jews fear that open or concealed anti-Semitism lies behind the campaign. The government strenuously denies this. The posters show a grinning Mr. Soros beside the words, "Don't let Soros have the last laugh." In smaller letters at the top of the poster is the message, 99% reject illegal immigration. The government has spent an estimated 5.7 billion forints, 19 million euros, 16.3 million pounds, $21 million on the campaign, which follows an earlier series of poster campaigns and national consultations designed to stir up public feeling against refugees. Last year, Hungary granted protection to just 550 people, one of the lowest rates in Europe, and has refused to accept a single person from the 1,294 quota allocated by the European Commission in September 2015. With Slovakia, the Fidesz government has also taken the Commission to the European Court of Justice over the quota allocations. The Fidesz government is also trying to close the Central European University, founded by Mr. Soros in Budapest in 1992, and has passed legislation forcing non-governmental organizations to declare themselves foreign-funded, and therefore suspect, in the increasingly xenophobic atmosphere in Hungary. That legislation targets Soros-funded NGOs in particular. Since the mid-1980s, Mr. Soros has spent $12 billion, mostly through his Open Society foundations, on civil initiatives to reduce poverty and increase transparency, and on scholarships in universities around the world, especially in Eastern Europe and the former Soviet Union. These usually have a strong human rights component, which have made him the boogeyman of many nationalist and illiberal governments. What appears to have irritated the Hungarian government most is a series of statements by Mr. Soros over the past 2 years in favor of controlled immigration to Europe, the US and Canada. In an article in the journal Foreign Policy in July 2016, Mr. Soros suggested that Europe might accept 300,000 refugees a year directly from Turkey, Jordan and Lebanon. He also sees selected immigration as one of the solutions to labor shortages in many fields in Europe, from IT to care homes. Like the Hungarian government, however, he emphasized that refugee resettlement and relocation programs must be voluntary, not compulsory. The Hungarian government also stands accused of whipping up anti-Semitism with the anti-Soros posters. Mr. Soros has Jewish roots, and as a 9-year-old during the Holocaust in German-occupied Hungary, he helped warn Jewish families about imminent deportations. Many government posters have had anti-Semitic graffiti scrawled on them. The posters on the floors of Budapest trams were deliberately placed so passengers would have to tread on Mr. Soros's face. András Heisler, leader of the Jewish community in Hungary, personally appealed to Prime Minister Viktor Orbán to end the poster campaign. Mr. Orbán rejected the appeal and suggested that Hungarian Jews do more to oppose Muslim immigration to Europe. The controversy is already overshadowing the planned visit of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to Hungary on the 18th of July. There is little love lost on Mr. Soros's side towards Mr. Orbán either, even though his foundation once funded a young Mr. Orbán's scholarship to study at Oxford University. I admire the courageous way Hungarians have resisted the deception and corruption of the mafia state Orbán has established, Mr. Soros told the European Parliament on the 1st of June, and I am encouraged by the European institutions' energetic response to the challenges emanating from Poland and Hungary. One small opposition party, Together, has already begun tearing down the posters in the 16th district in Budapest, and hopes to initiate similar actions elsewhere.